All right, we're back and we're on this Mercedes again. And god dang it, I can't remember the year of the model. 560 SCL was it? And it was the 126 chassis, you can see right there. And so it's been running for about 15 minutes now. And I had the windows down. What you've seen from my last video, I rolled down the windows because it's like 120, 130 degrees in the cabin area and it took too long to cool down. So I cooled it down with the outside air first, get it down into the 80s, and then rolled up the windows. I have it in recycle right now because I'm trying to get it to the coldest air. Now you see that return air that says 73, right there, 73 degrees? That is not taken from the air out here. I don't have it on fresh air. I actually have it on return air recycle. So the air temperature that we're trying to cool off is the actual cabin air temperature taken from right down here where it draws in the air to go get recycled and then come out the other temperature sensor out the dash. So we're actually taking cabin air temperature, and we only have you know, an 18 delta, which isn't that great, but we're on a fixed piston compressor. It no longer has R12 on it, so we'll lose, you know, a good 5 degrees, 3 degrees right there. Let's take up the idle a little bit. Yeah. Now let's watch the low side temperature. Ah, shoot, wait a minute. I need 2 pairs of gloves because the metal on this is so hot, I can't grab it with 1 pair of gloves. Low battery. Oh, let's look at it. So now we have the idle up. We're approaching 300 PSI. Our low side dropped down to 28. I have no temperature gauges for superheat or subcooling. I'm just doing the bare minimum. This vehicle is going to the Philippines. And as you see, the low side is slowly dropping. I have not checked for that there's any air bleed by, because possibly when they get this old, the fresh air door dams, they close. But what happens when you buy these vehicles and they're low mileage and you start them up for the first time after that, you'll notice little bits of rubber, little bits of foam, black foam coming out of the vents. And what that is the rubber air dams that close the ducts inside, the flappers, the doors, they have foam on them to stop the air and seal them. The foam deteriorates, so even though you close and you stop the fresh air from coming in that might be really hot, or a heater core, the foam has deteriorated and fall away, so it lets heater core air or lets fresh air bleed by and mix with your recycled air, raising your evaporator temperature on really hot days, because that little foam pad on the doors has decayed away and deteriorated. So that is unfortunately a problem with some of these old cars. And so I know this one will go down into the 40s off idle. And this is a nice one. Check this out. 1974 450 SL. What was that, 20-some thousand miles on that? It's yeah, 20,000 miles. 20,505 miles. And so this is a clean one. He showed me the interior, the engine compartment is beautiful. Up under the fender well, it's still, and there's not even rock chips on this thing, and that's original. This has not been repainted or refinished. So this thing is in mint ideal condition. This is definitely take it home. And the AC works perfect. Still has R12 in it with the original old fiber material hoses, and it works really good. So he says he's not even going to have me look at or touch the air conditioning on this one. We're just going to sell it as is. This is also going to somewhere special. All right guys, that's it on this one. And even at idle, the air temperature, as it recovers and the air slowly cools down all the vinyl interior inside there, the air temperature will keep on dropping. So if I just let it here sit for another half hour or so, we'll probably see the supply air drop down to about 47 or so, and we'll probably see the return air, which would be the true cabin air temperature, drop to around 68 degrees or so. This is with my experience of doing this literally thousands of times. And if I took the engine idle RPM up to about 1200 RPMs, we would probably see that supply air drop down to about 41 PSI, and we'll probably see the return air drop down to about 62 PSI in the whole cabin air after it cools off all the hot vinyl interior and everything like that. So you have some catch up. There's a little give and play. You have a little buffer of energy stored in the form of heat of all the solid mass of the material in the vehicle, and it takes a while to absorb that out, get rid of it, and then you could finally start dropping your cabin air temperature. All right, guys, catch you on the next one. Let you have one more shot of that. Sorry it's not clear on the video. It's pretty dark on this phone. See you guys later.